Weight loss is a buzzword in society. It always has been. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. People go on these yo-yo diets. They lose the weight, they gain it back. They lose the weight and they gain it back. That's more of a symptom than an actual cause of the issue.
99% of the diets out there, for every 10 pounds that a patient loses, 6 pounds is lean muscle, 2 pounds is water weight, and they're only actually losing 2 pounds of the fat that they intended to lose. And unfortunately, when they go off these diets and because they're not sustainable, they not only gain that weight back, they gain it back as fat. They're not getting it back as lean muscle.
Honestly, the way this was designed goes with the physiology of the human body. And that's why it works so well, because it is how the body actually was designed to work. And all these other programs actually force the body to drop weight and to lose weight. And you can never win against Mother Nature.
One other thing that separates True Weight Solutions from all the other programs out there, and what makes it so special, is that, again, it's treating the root of the problem, not just a symptom.
It's truly an all-in-one and truly the last program a patient will ever need to be on. I wanted a way to help patients improve their outcomes. So I knew just therapies, modalities, adjustments, things like that, they're great and they help, but I wanted to get patients well and I wanted them to stay well. So I was looking around and weight loss is a buzzword in society. It always has been. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. People go on these yo-yo diets. They lose the weight, they gain it back. They lose the weight and they gain it back. And what we're trying to do is figure out, how do we sustain that? And how we sustain it is, that's more of a symptom than an actual cause of the issue. And so we tried to sit there and go, okay, how do we get them not only to lose the correct type of weight, right? We wanted to spare muscle. A lot of weight loss is water weight, but how do we keep them from putting it back on? And so we realized that the cause of that was an inflammatory process inside the body. So then we created an anti-inflammatory program that detoxified, got rid of chemical, physical, and the effects of emotional stress, as a matter of fact, which is rampant in this society. And we're proud of what we created. So it's a true weight loss.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on what Dr. Neal said, 99% of the diets out there, for every 10 pounds that a patient loses, 6 pounds is lean muscle, 2 pounds is water weight, and they're only actually losing 2 pounds of the fat that they intended to lose. And unfortunately, when they go off these diets and because they're not sustainable, they not only gain that weight back, they gain it back as fat. They're not getting it back as lean muscle. So you can have somebody that only gains 10 to 15 pounds more over a 3 or 4 year period, but they look as if they've gained 30, 40, 50 pounds. So it's not just about, we want the weight to be true. And when you look at the before and afters of patients that have done the True Weight Solutions protocol, you can see the amazing results, but that these patients look healthy. Normally, when someone loses a drastic amount of weight in a certain amount of time, you almost want to run up to them and say, please eat this because you look like you need food, right? Our before and afters just don't look like that. These people look great. It's almost like a free facelift because their skin is tighter. They've lost it where they're supposed to lose it. So that's the exciting thing, with True Weight Solutions.
Basically, your body gaining weight is actually your body doing its job. So what happens is we get exposed to so many different toxins, so many different oxidative stress factors in life. Years and years and years of it. And so what your body does inside is it tries to protect the rest of the systems in the body by engulfing these toxins in fat. And so these fat cells house a lot of toxicity, a lot of toxins, and they're trying to protect the rest of the body. Now, over time, your body gets overruled, overrun. So 20 years, 30 years. I had a lot of fun in college. I think you did too, Adam.
Exactly,
and then all of a sudden now we're in our 50s.
You're paying for it.
It catches up on you, right? Everything goes up. And The bottom line is these cytokine levels and these storms and these inflammatory processes are going on. This is why COVID had such a field day. There were a lot of people that weren't overweight, but they had a California brush fire happening inside their body. And so their immune systems got overridden. They didn't know where to go first. And so COVID had a field day with these people. The healthcare providers out there didn't know how to treat this virus, this disease, because it was just randomly attacking everybody. And so we have a process, and we've detailed this out scientifically. So it's called the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah. It's a feedback loop in our bodies, and in a healthy individual, it's a great process that keeps us healthy. Here's the thing: we get to a point where we can't regulate it anymore, and it goes nuts, and that's when we get unhealthy. That's where our immune systems get overrun. That's where the weight comes on. But weight is really a symptom. And so what we wanted to do, we set out to treat a cause of that symptom. So we're all, hey, there's a pill for that. Hey, there's an app for that. Hey, that's all treating instant gratification. It's all treating a symptom. And that's why there are yo-yo dieters out there. So they're treating the symptom. They're not really effectively curing it. And then they gain the weight back.
Weight gain could be considered inflammation. So whether someone is 5 pounds inflamed or 105 pounds inflamed, they can benefit from an anti-inflammatory detoxification protocol like ours, because nobody's perfect. Dr. Neil gets mad at me because sometimes I'll say, the only people that can't do this program are bodybuilders and supermodels, and he'll go, wait a minute. He'll go, no, even those people have inflammation. Even those people have toxins. So there's a lot of people walking around that think, well, maybe I don't need to do this, or, I've only got 5 or 10 pounds that I really need to lose. But it's not about the weight. It's about the toxins that they are carrying around. And how can we help them get rid of those toxins so that their metabolisms work better, they have more energy, they look good, and they feel good. I'm going to steal Dr. Neil's line. Would you rather look good, feel good, or both? Right? And the problem is, with most diets out there, people only care that they want to look good. But how many people are happy on a diet? Not many, right? So if we could get people on a program where they are looking good, but they are feeling better, they've got more energy than they've ever had, they're sleeping better than they've ever slept, isn't that a win-win, for them? Because they're getting to their goal, and they're doing so in a healthy way, not a put a Band-Aid on it way.
Let's not forget moods.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So everyone's in a better mood.
Yeah. All day long, man. Yep. Stress is a huge factor in the process, right? But it's also the foods that we're eating. And I can only speak for myself because, we're both products of the product. Don't give me drugs or alcohol. Give me a pizza and ice cream and I'm a happy guy. I am a stress eater, right? So what are we doing when we're stress eating? We're not eating anti-inflammatory foods. We are eating inflammatory foods, things that are going to be hard to digest, things that are going to cause discomfort, things that are going to affect our sleep because of what we're eating. So part of the genius of the program that Dr. Pai or Neil and I kind of created was, hey, why don't we have these people eating a protocol of anti-inflammatory foods, low glycemic foods, low sugar foods that are going to also work with the supplementation that we're providing so that patients are maximizing their success.
Honestly, the way this was designed goes with the physiology of the human body. And that's why it works so well, because it is how the body actually was designed to work. And all these other programs actually force the body to drop weight and to lose weight. And you can never win against Mother Nature. We get plenty of calories in this country, right? No shortage there. Buffet on every corner. You could eat 4,000 calories a day and yet your body, your brain still may think it's starving. How does that work? Well, the brain is not getting the proper nutrition or the nutrients to actually tell itself it's satisfied. So we could go to McDonald's every day and eat 3,000, 4,000 calories every day. Your brain still is in starvation mode. So your metabolism gets lowered. And guess what? Where extra calories go to when your body thinks it's starving, it's going to hold on to every calorie you put in your body, and it's going to store it as fat. We created these formulations, these amino acid complexes, to feed the brain properly. Now it starts to stimulate and wake up these dormant fat-burning hormones, and then allow your body to do what it was designed to do to begin with. And now we're trying to undo these years, decades of oxidative stress, right? Chemical, physical, emotional. We all have it. And did you know that dehydration is a form of chemical stress? Not getting enough water is also a form of chemical stress on the body. Your body needs H2 and O to burn fat. And we're chronically dehydrated in this country. So a big part of this program is
hydration.
Water. Yeah. Water intake, hydration.
Just to piggyback on something that he said, because I do think it's important to mention. Notice how he said hypothalamus. He never once mentioned the thyroid. And the reason why I want to bring up the thyroid aspect of this is that we have helped thousands of patients, okay, that have had their thyroid removed or are on thyroid medications because the product and the program has nothing to do with the thyroid. So again, one other thing that separates True Weight Solutions from all the other programs out there and what makes it so special is that, again, it's treating the root of the problem, not just a symptom of the problem, or it's not hampered by a condition that a patient may have or a client may have. They can still be successful on this program if they don't have a thyroid, if they have high blood pressure, if they've had a hysterectomy. Heck, if they're even on hormone replacement therapy, they can still get success. So again, these are the points that make it not what you think it is, right?
Yep. What the B complexes do, what B12 does in particular, is it improves energy. It improves cellular function. It'll make the fat burning process more efficient.
It's more than its name, okay? There's trace minerals in there that mimic a multivitamin. So it's almost like you're helping patients give them the energy to get through the program. Yep. And you're also providing them with the nutrition that they'll need to get through the program as well. And I like to compare it to like that little plastic bottle you put in your gas tank, right? To get better mileage. That's kind of how I would mimic it, in layman's terms, just because that's what you're really doing. Imagine if you were able to get, with gas prices what they are right now, if you're able to get another 30, 40 miles on a tank of gas, imagine if you had more energy throughout the day, what you could accomplish. And as we're talking about this snowball effect of positive energy and change, with not just within the body, but in mood, in sleep, this is an essential component to that. Yeah. So that's what, again, it's not like we've taken all of these 3 supplements and said, let's just throw it out there. Each supplement serves a purpose, and that's why they work so well together. It's a synergy of all the products working well together, each playing their part. So again, I'm going to say this a lot on these podcasts so that a patient can maximize their success with not as strenuous an effort.
It's truly an all-in-one and truly the last program a patient will ever need to be on.
Imagine trying to date someone that's had 15 bad relationships. That's essentially what you're getting when these patients have come in. They've tried on average 15, 20, 25 of these programs. And so they already have a preconceived notion of what a diet is. They already have a lot of skepticism on whether this is going to work or not. And you're just the latest in something else that they're being presented with that they failed in the past. So I like to say to my patients, it's okay to be skeptical. Just don't be cynical, right? Because you want to prove to those patients that this is something that is different. And I think once we are able to sit down with patients and explain to them, hey, it's not just about the supplements we're going to give you. There's going to be behavior modification through the HIPAA compliant app and dashboard. You're going to get educated throughout the protocol. Oh, by the way, this isn't something that you just do for 60 days and then you're going to go back to what you were doing before. This is something that we're setting you up to succeed, not just for the 60 days that you're on the program, but for the rest of your life. So we are, I think that I speak for Dr. Neil and myself when I say that we are super proud of the behavior modification that we make with patients, not just the results. Because if we can improve a patient's behavior eating wise, even if 1 is the worst and 10 is the best, and we can get them to even a 5 or a 6 in better eating habits, that is a huge win for us and most importantly for the patient.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, so a lot of patients will go to their doctor and they'll say, well, this is a lifestyle disease. You need to modify your lifestyle. Well, that's fine. What do I do? How do I do it? And then, so we've had patients come in and they think that it's a mountain to climb. And we've got this great testimonial. They said that he and his wife thought that this was going to just be a battle. And there it was. Within 60 days, they changed their lifestyle because we had shown them how to do it. It's very simple. I won't say easy, but simple. An email every day. I had an app and a dashboard. They had a question. They could ask for help, and we were there. And pretty soon, after 60 days, they reached their target. I think combined weights both. And really, weight isn't really the big issue here. It's health, right? But these two in particular lost over 54 pounds together. Now, you may get someone who only needs 10 pounds. So it's not, that's why that number is really not that important. It's really how they feel, how their clothes fit, the whole host of things. A lot of intangibles are involved, but people really get stuck on that scale. They get stuck on a number, including my own wife. So she's like, oh, I weighed myself this morning. I didn't lose anything. I'm like, okay, well, how are your clothes fitting? Oh, pretty good. I was like, okay, where's that tummy you said you wanted to lose from the baby weight? Oh, it's not here. Oh, I would say it's working.
that right there, what he just hit on right there is probably the key to the whole success. Is let's get the onus off of weight and let's put the onus back on inches and body fat. So I always joke around with my patients and my providers. My lines are not trademarked, right? I will ask a patient, hey, do you wear a sign around your neck that says how much you weigh? And of course, they look at me like I'm crazy. They say, of course not. And then I'll say, hey, if I can wave a magic wand right now, you don't have to tell me what your goal is, but if I can wave a magic wand right now and put you into your goal dress size or pant size, would you care how much you weighed? And 99 out of 100 people are going to go, I just want to look good for my sister's wedding. I just want my husband to look at me the way he did when we first got married. Those are the things that people that come to us want. These are real stories and things that we deal with on a daily basis. So it's not really about weight loss as it's about body fat and inches loss. And just to, again, piggyback on what Neil said, picture trying to find a destination without using your GPS. It's going to be a lot harder to get to a destination if someone says, well, this is where I live, good luck finding it, as opposed to make a right here, make a left, take this highway. That's what a patient gets when they are doing the program. They get a built-in GPS system through the daily emails, through the videos, do the live coaching where we're tracking patients in real time and able to interact with them so that if they get lost, right, or they make a wrong turn, we can go, you made a mistake. Let's just get you back on track and get you refocused. And again, these are just some of the things that we were not seeing in the over 50 years of experience that we have combined. And we just got so fed up with it that we said, there's got to be a way to do this better, smarter, faster, simpler. And that's why we're sitting here right now.
Talk about tissue quality, body composition, okay? Muscle weighs more than fat. So a lot of people now, they're just stuck on that number. I'm not going to mention the current fad out there, but say take HCG diets, or there's a certain injection going around right now. People will drop 15% of their body weight. 15% is huge. That's a big number. That's all people are being sold. But guess what? Now research is coming out and it's showing that they're losing muscle weight. So now they're becoming metabolically fatter. As we age, we want to preserve muscle. That's what's going to get you health. We don't want to lose muscle and help it move along in our younger age. And I say young because, we're young. But we want people to understand it's a tissue quality thing. When collagen and elastin in your skin tissue gets tighter, it's truly anti-aging. When you build muscle to fill out the wrinkles instead of fat, that's anti-aging. Now you're metabolically getting fit. You're getting better. You're able to burn sugar effectively and fight diabetes, which is just rampant. I used to do this seminar for regenerative treatments. It's living longer and younger and stronger. So nobody wants to live a long life if they can't enjoy it. What the baby boomers want right now, what our generation, what are we, Gen X?
Gen X, I think, yeah.
Gen X, I forget now. I think we're up to Z. But
yeah.
The Gen Xers, so we're in our 50s. We want a very good quality of life. I want to live as long as I can, but I don't want to live it unfulfilled. I want a quality of life. And my parents say the same thing now. They're like, hey, if it gets to a point where we can't do something or enjoy ourselves, just take us to a vet and put us out. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to at least do things, daily activities. They don't need to go paragliding or any of that stuff, but they just want to be able to walk without pain, not have these chronic diseases. Osteoarthritis, diabetes, all these different things. And weight is just a symptom of all that, but doesn't it make it so much worse? Yep. So we're trying to actually get rid of all that so people can live longer and stronger. So, this needs to match this. I'm 25 right here. Not necessarily matched yet, but I've got work to do.
Just to be really simple, it's going to boost the metabolism and reset the metabolism. Okay. And so one of the things in the short term, just to, differentiate, is that they're not going to gain everything back in 30 days. How many programs have people been on where they'll lose a bunch of weight and then within 30, 60 days, they've gained all the weight back plus an additional 10 pounds. This is something that is going to reset the metabolism and boost the metabolism. It's almost like hitting a reset button to when you were 20, 25, 30 years old, when you were, really breaking down your foods in the best, most healthiest ways. And so that is one of the reasons that this works in the long term, because again, people will see that if they just follow some of the protocols from the actual program on the maintenance stage, they can not only keep the weight off forever, but they can be healthier and feel better. And even if they have a bad weekend or they go away for a trip, they can enjoy themselves, still come back, kind of get back on track. And again, inflammation can be 2 or 3 pounds. I can gain 2 or 3 pounds of inflammation in a weekend if I'm doing a family reunion, right? But if I've done the program and I've reset the metabolism, if I get back from a long weekend on a Sunday night and by Wednesday, the inflammation that I gained over eating badly for that short period is now gone, isn't that a beautiful thing? Isn't that what we all want? Don't we want to still be able to enjoy our lives, but eat sensibly most of the time? So again, behavior modification. I cannot stress it enough. And I go back to the psychological side of this, in that food is a drug. And it was my drug for years and years and years. I was a stress eater. But once I was able to look at the portion that were in the protocol, look at the portions that were in the protocols, I was able to see, okay, this is what I need to do to sustain myself. And I don't need to have all these bad foods. And if I do, I don't have to have the entire pint of ice cream. I can just have a scoop of ice cream, and it can still be enjoyable. So those are the things that the program does to make sure that it's not just a flash in the pan. This is something that can last forever. And people say, well, will I have to come back? We may get a repeat patient, but they come back 9 to 12 months later and they say, hey, I haven't gained even a third of it all back, but I'm noticing these bad habits, see, these behavioral habits that are now coming back into play. So I'd like to do another round just to make sure that I've, really squashed this thing. And so again, that's the beauty of True Weight Solutions, is that for some people, it may take a little bit longer for everything to register, but for most people, you can do this one time, change your life, and really be able to move forward and squash this, ball and chain addiction that we have to food, and really enjoy it,
And honestly, talk about anti-aging. I'm really 94. So,
Right.
Thank you.
Benjamin Button.
No, I mean, isn't that the goal? Isn't that everybody's end game, is to live as long as possible, but as well as possible, and to enjoy it and not deal with chronic illnesses as we get older. And how many of us have heard from our doctor, oh, you're just getting older, you're just going to have to get used to it. Poppycock.
Yeah, and in layman's terms, to make it on a more of a dietary thing, do you really want to count points the rest of your life? Do you really want to count calories the rest of your life? Do you really want to starve yourself the rest of your life? I think the answer is no to all of those. This is a way to not have to do that.
And I will tell you that between us both, we've used just about everything available to a patient out there in our careers, and we were tired of not getting that result. Or maybe the feedback we'd get is, oh, I don't want to take a grocery bag full of pills or supplements. I don't want to starve myself to death. I mean, obviously you're going to eat your own body, and you're going to lose weight because you're going to eat your own muscle. You're going to waste away. There was somebody, and I won't get too specific about this, but they went on a specific popular plan where you got your food sent to you every week. And they dropped a ton of weight.
I think you said it was over 100 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So come back about a year and a half later, and they were about 150 pounds. Like they gained it all back and then some. Yeah. As long as you eat these prepackaged foods, you're okay. But first of all, who can afford to do that? Second of all, what's in those things? And so we wanted something that people could go to the grocery store and do, and supplements that were easy to take, under the tongue. So we never address that. It's under the tongue because other than an injection,
liquid
under the tongue, sublingual is the second best delivery system in the body. So when we take something and ingest it like a supplement, we're only getting about 20% of it because the rest of it is pooped out,
broken down
through our digestive system. So you're really not getting full benefit from supplements even.
Yep.
So this was about an 80% absorption rate. So we're like, this is max effect. Go to the grocery store, buy these anti-inflammatory foods. We have 2 recipes a day. We have over 150 recipes that are fun. One thing we've heard from patients, a lot of spouses like to do it together. They want to get healthy on this journey together. They have fun again. They have fun cooking again. It's just easy stuff. And we just didn't want to make it so hard that people wouldn't do it.
Yeah. One of the things that I say with the thousands of patients that I've helped is if you think I think you're going to be perfect on this program, then I have an afro. I mean, it's just, those days are long gone. Unfortunately, this is in the 70s and I don't have I can't grow that kind of hair anymore. And that's the beautiful thing about True Weight Solutions is that you don't have to be perfect on the program. We don't expect you to be perfect on the program. Obviously, the more you can do the program and follow it, the more you're going to maximize your results. However, we wanted to humanize the program where someone could have an off day or even a couple of off days, and they could get back on track and not feel like everything they had, all the progress they had made had been lost. And so that's why it's so important for people to understand that this program is not harsh. It's easy to do. It's easily laid out. And I really believe that we are sustaining patients long after they're going to be finished with the program.
Yeah.
This is real food. There's nothing processed. There's nothing packaged on this program. This is not a drug. This is an all-natural anti-inflammatory detoxification protocol where patients are going to maximize their success through the supplementation and by following a specific protocol that goes along with the supplementation. And what is the protocol? Well, in a perfect world, we want to do an intermittent fast in the morning. We want there to be a fast where the first meal is going to be eaten between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And when that first meal hits, they're going to do 4 to 6 ounces of protein, 2 to 4 ounces of vegetables. Unlimited water-based vegetables are free. So your lettuce, tomato, onion, cucumber, celery, cabbage, all that, unlimited. And then what we like to say, or what I like to say, is a fruit saved for several hours later as an after meal snack. And all these foods are going to be low glycemic. Now, we don't live in a perfect world. So if somebody wakes up hungry, or they need to take food with medication, or they want to exercise on the program, they can do all those things, and they can just either have more protein, or we have an all-natural protein shake for our diabetics, vegetarians, and workout warriors, where they're not in starvation mode. The key is not to be in starvation mode, which that is very hard for people because people think if they're not hungry on a diet, it must not be working. And so we need to change people's mindset that when you're hungry on this program, you can eat. You can do protein, or you can do a couple of free vegetables. The second meal is the same. Your dinner meal is the same as your first meal. It's going to be that same 4 to 6 ounces of protein, 2 to 4 ounces of vegetables, unlimited free food. And for me, I can only speak for myself. Instead of a pint of ice cream at 9 o'clock, I would do the fruit. Does fruit ever taste like ice cream? Absolutely not. However, again, it was a behavioral change, right, that I was making where I was still getting some food, something sweet, and it was amazing. I never knew that I liked blueberries or strawberries before I did the program. And that is it. I say this all the time. I wish it was harder because then I could be smarter, but it is really that simple of a system. And again, you're getting that coaching, The supplements are preventing cravings. They're preventing you having to be hungry. There's an all-natural appetite suppressant in the supplements. So again, these are things that are all part of the protocols.
Not only that, there's the nutrition that's lacking. So we're trying to make up for the lack of nutrition and then get them on behavioral modification after they get stable. And then we have, when we were testing this program, some people were like, well, I'll just eat healthier. We've had patients just eat healthy, rabbit food, they call it, not drop a pound. And so then we did this program with the anti-inflammatory diet with and without the drops. And we found that it was so much more effective with the drops.
Absolutely.
And so that's how we know that this works. Because when we were in testing, we did all sorts of scenarios with thyroid, without thyroid, all sorts of stuff, and we got the same results. And so I always used to say, I'm like, the only patients it doesn't work on are the ones that didn't really do it, or they didn't follow it properly. It's very rare. Now you do have 1%, 2% because some people do have challenges. They might have a pituitary tumor, or something that requires a bit more investigation. And so can't say it works 100% of the time. Can we say 98%? Yeah, sure can. And so we think it's a great foundational program to kickstart somebody's longevity journey. In my practice, treated a lot of knees, back, disc issues, decompression, neuropathy patients, which are really, there's no answer for a lot of them. And what I wanted was to get them more healthier. And as a result, as a symptom of that, they would lose weight. So for every pound you are overweight, you're 4 pounds of pressure on the back, the knees, the ankles. So guess what? You're going to wear things out faster. Most patients on average are at least 25 pounds overweight. So you can do the math. They're carrying around a backpack of 100 to 200 pounds extra every day without thinking about it. So guess what's going to wear out? Discs, hips, knees, ankles. Yeah. So the surgeons are happy about that. But so that's where it happened. And I was like, okay, how do we do this and get them healthier to have a better outcome, last longer? It was a busy office. I didn't have time to go in and do these things. And so this was created to actually take a lot of that off the doctor's plate and even the staff's plate. And that's why Adam and I tried to automate it as much as possible, so it would be easy to implement in a busy office. I think functional medicine, for example, is a fantastic specialty, and it's needed. Like I said, there's going to be those people that have mold illnesses and these little specialty type things that require a lot of attention and time, and that's not this program. Okay. I would say start here, because I would like to call this program, we've called it a functional medicine kit in a box. Mm-hmm. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of things. Okay. But some people may need some specialty labs. Some people may need to be counseled on things, maybe a different host of things, right? But for 98% of our providers out there, I tell them, start with this. We tell them, hey, this is a great foundation. That's why we call it a foundational program. So that's what we really call it, as a foundational kit. But that's where it came from. And we're like, okay, let's do it. We started using it. Guess what? People, video testimonials, they'd be like, oh, they did regenerative therapy on my knees and rehab. And, oh, by the way, I'm 24 pounds down. So that's not bad either. So the goal wasn't even weight loss here. It was that they got healthy. They dropped 25 pounds. And guess what? You could just see the relief in their face. Oh, my knees and my back feel so much better. Neuropathy patients, a lot of them have diabetic neuropathy. Use this on them, lowered their A1C. You're never going to get them help if you don't get the A1C down. Mm-hmm. You're never going to do that. And so this was a guide, because lowering your A1C, it's fine to say that, but it's really hard to do. Patients don't know where to start. I go to my doctor and I'm like, I don't want to think. Just tell me what to do. If I want to think and go look stuff up on my own and do this and do that, all right, I'll do it. But I don't. I need confidence. I need somebody who's been there before me, who knows what's happening. I don't want to know how an antibiotic works. I didn't need you to know that. My doctor. and then, make sure you're doing the right treatment for me.
Yep.
And that's how we approach this kit. And so our doctors will make it so easy for them to use in their office. And then we know, okay, this has been used on over 40,000 patients. It works. And so when we talk to providers, and Adam does a lot more of that than I do, but when he talks to them, he's talking to them with integrity and confidence. Mm-hmm. And we ask them, hey, borrow ours until you get some of your own.
Yeah. And I think one of the things we like to say, it's not what we say, it's how we say it. If I was to tell a neuropathy patient, hey, in order for this case to really work, this treatment plan to really work, you need to lose 25 pounds. That's going to set something off, a defense mechanism in that patient, where they're going to go, who is he to tell me what I need to do? However, if I change the wording and I go, hey, you are inflamed. We need to reduce your inflammation and we need to get your body detoxified. I never once tell them that they're overweight, because they know that they are. Okay. So if I say you are inflamed, we got to reduce the inflammation. We got to get the detoxification out. This will help your case outcome. This will help your results. You will do better and you'll feel better. Now, it can not only be used on more serious medical sides, but we've also seen the results where it helps supercharge or 10x the results of a red light therapy treatment. Red light therapy is a hot new thing. There's a lot of these centers springing up, a lot of chiropractors, a lot of even individuals are opening these type of red light centers, and they're incorporating a red light, which is red light and infrared, to help tone and, again, reduce fat and reduce inches. The problem is, if a patient does red light therapy and then they hit every McDonald's in their area, the red light is not being maximized. It's not being used to the max of its capability. When you combine the two technologies of red light with true weight solutions, you go from good to great. There was a book, Good to Great. This is kind of that on a health side, in that it really is supercharging that patient's results, because they're coming in for the red light therapy, getting those benefits, and they're also doing an anti-inflammatory detoxification protocol. Yeah. So when you combine those two technologies, it is a win-win. So the red light is so awesome that it'll work whether you go crazy eating badly or not, or you won't supercharge or maximize the results. So when just like you can't out-exercise a bad diet, you can't out-red light a bad diet. It's helping these patients, and quite honestly, helping these providers help their patients maximize their results and get the best results, so that they have raving fans, these people that are like, oh my God, you changed my life. Not, oh, I didn't really reach my goals. It was great. I'm a little better, but it really didn't, get me to where I really wanted to be, even though the technology was great. This is something where you can really supercharge your results. And it's just, providers and patients alike see the benefits and they go, oh my God, I'm so glad that we're combining these two technologies.
And then how I'll put it to a patient, regardless, is we just need to get you on an anti-inflammatory program.
Yep.
And then I would just spell it out for them. And then that's much better than, hey, we're going to put you on a weight loss program.
Yep. And notice he didn't say it was an option. He did not give the patient the option. So red light providers are not giving their patients the option. Dr. Neal is not giving his patients the option. He's saying this is part of the protocol so that you can really crush this. once you combine the technologies and go, okay, now we're really educating them and we're teaching them how to do things forever, the results are just going to be 10x. Supercharged, as we like to say.
Yeah, 10x, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's really important to point out that these things that we talk about or produce or creators are they were tested already in a practice.
Ours.
Yeah. So we know that they work before we even get them out there, because the intention wasn't even really to get this to other doctors. So
it's my fault.
It's his fault. I just wanted something for my patients, and that's it. But he said, "Why aren't this? Let's." And then he created the protein and developed the program. And
but I think it's important to note that anything we've ever launched, we've done in the practice first. We're not telling somebody, whether it be on the patient level, we've done the program ourselves, or whether it be on a provider level, hey, this is what we think is going to work best. We've never done anything that we haven't tried ourselves. And believe me, we made our share of mistakes. And that's the beautiful thing, is we've made the mistakes already. Now we've got this system where the kinks are worked out. Just do it. Just go for it. Just make this a part of your life, or make this a part of your practice, whatever realm you're in, so that you are helping more people or feeling better yourself.
We want to promote health. We want to preserve it. And in a lot of cases, bring it back. People have lost it already. That's why chronic conditions are going up. Time magazine brought up inflammation as the #1 killer in the US.